Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for our GoldMine 101 regular series of GoldMine presentations. And this morning, I'm going to focus on the Notes feature of GoldMine, or specifically the Notes tab. Now, this presentation will be quite short, approximately 15 minutes or so. It's just meant to be a basic overview of the Notes feature, not meant to be in-depth training on use of GoldMine. My company, Wizard Systems, offer many extensive training options that you might like to explore. Now on the call today, and there's 38 people on the call this morning. I can see that we've got all sorts of different versions of GoldMine being used. Pretty much everything I say this morning will be relevant to all versions, editions of GoldMine. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you have any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those at the end. And it's probably best to type them in as soon as you think of them rather than wait at the end of the session. If any late questions come through, I'll do my best to answer those separately via email after the call. Also, towards the end, I'll be giving you an update on any GoldMine product news just to keep you informed. This call this morning is being recorded. After the presentation, you will get an automatic email from our system with a link to the recording, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started then. Just a very brief mention, as I normally do, about Wizard Systems. We're a top supplier of GoldMine worldwide, primarily focusing on the UK and Northwest Europe marketplace. We've been doing GoldMine a long time. We have well over 3,000 implementations of GoldMine, and we provide lots of additional services should you need them to help you get the most out of GoldMine as regards implementation, implementing upgrades, customizing GoldMine, report writing, integrating it with other applications. We do also supply a wide range of popular GoldMine add-ons. We provide extensive training options for GoldMine. We could provide training at your premises. You can come to our offices near Bristol in the UK. And we've got a friendly, responsive GoldMine help desk as well. Okay, so let's dive into GoldMine and take a look at the Notes feature in a little bit more detail. So here is a contact record, and along the contacts tab bar we have notes. Of course, this Notes tab can appear in different places along that Notes tab, but here it is here on the left hand side. Here's a note that I've already created. So any note is date stamped, time and date stamped, also with the name of the user. So there's a little bit of an audit trail going on there with these notes that are being added to the contact record. Now, generally, these notes it's a good idea to use notes for any information that maybe you don't need to report on, or you don't need to analyze, or it doesn't feature as part of a business process in your company, or you don't want to do any marketing based on this information, or you're not like to search on this information as well. But nonetheless, it's sort of information that is really important for you to know of. So it's unstructured information. There are many places where other notes type records appear, but this is the contact's main notes here. Of course, to add new notes, you can click on this Add Note button and type in some extra notes here. There we are. These are some more notes. You do have the ability to add in a bit of rich text there, but basically these notes are stored in that sort of date time order. You can also go back to notes and edit notes, delete notes. So bear in mind that these notes could potentially be overwritten. Again, that's why I say from a point of view of important information or wanting to track maybe activity type information, it's not a particularly good idea to put notes here. Now we have seen over the years people using notes to store information about their activities with this contact. And it's quite understandable in that the Notes tab is one of the first things that you see there, and you click on it and it's fairly intuitive on how to use it. Now, that's not to say that using the Notes tab for tracking activity information is right or wrong. It's entirely up to yourselves as regards how you use the Notes tab. But generally speaking, the Pending and History tab are better places to store information about your activities. So your calls, your meetings, your actions with that contact. And each activity that you record does have its own little notes box. So here is an example of a record of a pending phone call, an up and coming phone call with this contact. And there we are, we have that big notes box there. And you may be aware that you can, where you see this little double chevron icon there, you can click on that to expand out a notes box. You've got a bit more screen space to type in your notes there. So there are notes relating to other record types in GoldMine, and this, generally speaking, the pending and history tabs, they're generally speaking a better place to store that activity information. So notes appears there against activities, against your additional contacts. So here I've got 3 additional contacts. I've got the notes box down there. Be a bit careful with typing notes information in down here. It can be difficult to find it. It's going to be obviously visible when you see that contacts record, but just be aware of some of the limitations of some of these notes tabs. And notes relating to an opportunity. So here's an opportunity with that contact. We can click on that and that will zoom into that opportunity record, and there again is that notes tab with the ability to add in notes in a similar way to notes against the contact. So that's a quick run through of the Notes tab feature, the general notes feature. Just use it for background information relating to this contact. Generally speaking, try not to use it for recording activity type information. And certainly it's not a good idea to store information here if it relates to some marketing process. You want to report on it, you want to search on it, or indeed any other mega important information. Okay, as I normally like to do now, I'm quite happy to open out our call now to any questions that you may have. Let me just pop back to our presentation slide. So if you've got any questions, please, well, pretty much anything to do with GoldMine or specifically the Notes tab feature, please type those into your question section. So a couple of questions have come through already. First question from Lawrence: can you remove the Notes tab? Yes, you can. That is normally a personal preference, but yes, you can remove it from that general contacts tab display there, Lawrence. Next question on Becky: are notes supported on GoldMine Web? Yes, they are. The GoldMine Web is the included web access capability to GoldMine now, and yes, you have access to your Notes tab there, and indeed the other little notes, the notes elements of the separate record types that I showed you there, Becky. Okay, next question from Ian. I've always used notes in a way that I believe GoldMine intends people to use history as an ongoing record of the content of contacts with a customer. These can be very varied in nature, and I find that notes gives one the flexibility that the history format does not. Notes are also much better at providing a quick overview of conversations back in time. Yes, that's very true, Ian. And as I said in my description of the notes feature, it's entirely up to you how you use the notes tab. If you're working on your own, then you use notes in the way that you want to use notes, and if you find that's a particular easy way of seeing at a glance on one screen all of the things that have been going on there, then so be it. There's no problem with that at all, Ian. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through, so thanks to the three of you for those questions there. As I normally do now, just to give you an update on any GoldMine product news. So we had our latest hotfix 3 out last week. These hotfixes come out generally on the first Thursday of every month. And then there's 2 major releases during the year. So the latest version of GoldMine is 2015.2, hotfix 3. We also, on our GoldMine help desk, we have been reporting quite a few issues over the last few weeks concerning the Office link with GoldMine 2016. This relates to the link with Word, if you're launching Word documents from GoldMine, or the Outlook link, and it's specific to 2016. And sometimes the link disables itself. Now, this is a fault of Office, and there is a solution to this, quite a straightforward solution to a .NET component of that integration. Please contact our help desk if you're suffering from any issues of late using the Word link or the Outlook 2016 link. Please contact our help desk. We've got a couple of places on our GoldMine introduction training course, 1st of March, where we will cover the notes feature and a lot more. Great for anyone new, joining your company, new to GoldMine, wants to cover all of the day-to-day basics of using GoldMine. As always, please email me any suggestions for future topics. If you've got any ideas of something to cover in GoldMine that may be 5-10 minutes in duration, I'd love to hear from you. I do hope in the next few weeks to cover such topics as leads analysis in GoldMine, email marketing, how do we use GoldMine as a powerful marketing tool, and also what crops up quite frequently is to cover what are the remote access options to GoldMine. There are quite a few different ways of accessing your GoldMine system when you're out and about. Okay, well, thanks very much for your time this morning. As I say, if you've got any other questions concerning GoldMine, please email me. My name again is Tim Wilmot, tim@wizard-systems.com. Thanks very much for attending. Remember to watch out for the recording, and hopefully we'll catch up with you next week on a new GoldMine topic. Thanks very much indeed.